afternoon, good morning, good evening, aloha, guten tag, whatever you want to say, bonjour, hola, and all that good stuff. We are here. We are ready for Pacers basketball.
I'm down with that.
We are here for wrestling and wrestling alike. But yes, so happy to be here. Welcome to Superkickin with Steven and Greg, your favorite two hosts, with a special guest in the corner there, rocking the mask. We are not going to give his identity away because all the ladies might go after him. Well, he's got one lady after him, so there we go. But anyways, that is Sean in the corner. Thank you for being here, Sean. So glad to be here. It is a busy sports day, sports weekend. Like we said here in Indianapolis, we are ready for first home playoff game since 2013. We have NXT Stand and Deliver, and then the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania. I was off air, Greg, and I said Triple H is still talking in his Hall of Fame speech. But anyways, we are here. We're ready to go. Sean is going to join us for WrestleMania talk first. Then we'll let him sneak away or whatever he'd like to do. And then we'll give you some quick and dirty NXT stuff to get you right up to the moment that it'll probably be ready to go on. So we'll just do a quick check-in, see how we're doing, and then let's just get to the predictions right afterwards. So let's give our guest the floor. Welcome, Sean, to another edition of Superkickin with Steve and Greg. We are glad to have you here.
Woke up feeling a little giddy here today. It's WrestleMania. I'm happy. I'm happy.
Yeah, you watched it last year, right?
Come again?
Did you watch last year's?
Oh yeah.
So you've been into it lately with Penta and Phoenix now is your kid's favorite two. I'm guessing right now. So and
love watching the Lucha.
Look at that. There we go. The Penta shirt.
Yep.
That's official Royal Rumble purchase. I know because I was there with Greg when he purchased it.
It's a good purchase.
And then Greg, how are we doing? You ready for your travels? If you didn't know, Sean, Greg loves to travel.
We all, yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. You know I'm ready. Like I said, Sean, last year I made the mistake of going to Japan during WrestleMania week, and thinking I could log on to Peacock from my hotel room, and that was not the case. It was not accessible, and I missed out on WrestleMania in live. And didn't get to watch it until I got home, probably a week later. So that kind of took away from some of that. Yeah, so not making that mistake again.
Right.
I am going back to Asia, but in 2 weeks.
Yeah, good planning.
8 or 9 days. But yeah, doing it better this time. So, oh man, I'm super stoked, baby. It's the most wonderful time of the year. WrestleMania, baby. I'm so hyped. My dude Penta gonna represent tonight. And dude, you guys got so much action going on out there. How you gonna be able to watch WrestleMania and the Pacers, man? You gonna have the two TV set up?
Pacer game at 1.
Okay. So no
they
NXT
knew what was going on. They knew what was going on.
But hey, we got regulated NBA TV, but I am not mad about that. Not at all. I'm not going to complain about that. I'm not pissed off about that. Anyway, so
LeBron. I wouldn't be either.
No, yeah, it is what it is. But yes, we do have a little downtime, Greg, between the two, which is nice to kind of give you that. Maybe I might crawl out of bed after watching NXT and Pacers and, get up and get some food and then go right back to bed till WrestleMania. And then next week, Sean, we got Squared Circle Expo. So if you can make that happen, it is a good time.
I've been looking into that. Yeah, definitely.
Yes. I've been there both times, or all 5 years it's been here. And I've already got 2 tickets, next week, Friday and Saturday. I got a lot of Friday photo ops. So I will be running around like a chicken with its head cut off trying to get all those photo ops. But luckily, they are all scheduled differently. And a couple are prepaid where you just go to the table and do it. But I keep forgetting to get on the Squared Circle Expo guys. Last year, I got in touch with them too late. This year, I think they had too much going on. So, yeah, one of these days, we will connect if I can with them because that is just a great expo for us in the Midwest. And it's getting bigger and bigger. So, but speaking of bigger and bigger, let's just kick it off. Is this the coordination of Jey Uso tonight, Sean?
I get to start this one.
You get to start it. You are the special guest. I will let you have the first one.
I
Let's
have
go,
been
Sean.
absolutely, I think the build up to this one the past few weeks is really starting to catch fire.
Yes.
I'm pumped for this one. I got 2 kids in there. They're in there doing the yeet. They want to see the whole stadium doing the yeet. But I stick with the ring general, man. I love Gunther. I think he's going to keep it.
I mean, and I don't think that's a bad guess or bad prediction because, it is that weird, like, Gunther probably needs it a little more to keep proving himself. He's got nothing to prove to us, I don't think. But I think he does have that in the back of his mind, trying to keep proving it to people. So,
yep.
Which way are you going to Wiz, Greg, over there?
Hey, that's not a bad prediction at all. I mean, just keep in mind that Cody didn't win the championship his first time out either.
Mm-hmm.
So, it took 2 tries for him to get it. But for me, I'm all about Jey Uso, and I didn't buy into it in the beginning either, especially after he took those 3 L's to Gunther. And, he was just looking like, another notch in the belt. And Gunther is dominant as he always is. But as they've unraveled this story and given us more layers, and then finally, like I said, the Rocky IV moment where he, destroys Jimmy in front of Jay. That's the fuel right there to make this happen this time. That's what's going to be different this time compared to the last time, the last 3 times, as a matter of fact. And I like that, he's switched to the all black. He's all business. He's all about his business. And he was a little back into the yeet action, but that just shows he's got his confidence back. He's, feeling more sure of himself than he ever has. And, now you see a little, doubt in Gunther's eyes. So that for the first time, we haven't seen that since last year. So I'm going to officially go on the record and say, as much as I'm a Gunther guy, a Walter guy, that is Jay's coronation championship.
All Jay, all Jay, all Jay. I wore my Jey Uso shirt yesterday. I was yeeting in the hallways. I mean, I feel bad for Gunther because this will make him 0-2 at WrestleMania. He had to bite the bullet and let his record-setting IC title run into Sami Zayn last year. But it's time. I mean, Gunther will be fine. The real story will be, where does Gunther go after this? Because, like we've said, 75%, 73%, some ridiculous amount of time, Gunther has been some sort of champion on the main roster and UK and NXT, all that. I mean, that's unheard of for a lot of guys. So, yeah. I think he can go down, drop to 69% as champion and be fine. This is all Jay's time. This has actually been announced. At least it was on dirt sheets and whatnot. This is going to be the opener. And
yep.
I don't think you could go wrong with getting a little yeet action. And Jey Uso will probably be drunk by the end of the night. He was the Hall of Fame. He was a little tipsy, they say. So, and then I do remember that interview with him and Cody Rhodes after they won the tag team titles. Jay had a little in him. So did Cody, because they were both a little on the outs. So this is all Jay's night. And I can't think of a better way to kick off his run, than winning it tonight. So, all right. How about this one? Let's start with Greg, because I have gone back and forth. I think Greg knows which direction I'm going, but, there is still the Charlotte Flair aspect of this. Don't know where we're at with the build-up, because it's been a train wreck here and there, but it's also been good at times. Charlotte's got the better of her, then Tiffany's got the better of her, but now it comes into the ring and see where they can go, and hopefully they don't let the, kind of build up of that ruin their program, because this could be, this could kind of be Tiffany's coming out party. She's never really faced a woman like Charlotte. Whenever anybody goes against Charlotte, that's their litmus test, because Charlotte is Charlotte. So, Greg, which direction are you going? Tiffany time or Charlotte Flair?
Yeah, the build-up has been so cringy.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably near the bottom of the matches I'm most looking forward to watching. Uh, they can make up for all of this if they give us a banger match.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where the rubber meets the road. I mean, the
Mhm.
promo is supposed to get us hyped for it and get us ready, and maybe add some heat to the rivalry.
Mhm.
And they've added heat, but not good heat.
Yeah.
But we know what Charlotte can do, and we're seeing what Tiffany can do, and they can make all this up for the horrible promos and all the awkward silence by giving us a banger 5-star match. And these two have the potential to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And it's my concern, will they be able to? We talked about Charlotte's mental state last week.
Yeah.
And
I'm very concerned about that.
yeah, and she does look very thin compared to the way we used to seeing her. So that concerns me a bit. But Charlotte's the ultimate professional, and like you said, she's a litmus test for all the ladies who come up. And I've been back and forth on this one too, and I'd be more on Tiffy's side if she wasn't playing the bully card. I mean, it's one thing to let that idea kind of percolate, but to speak it out loud, that's kind of a non-starter for me. But I'm going to put all that aside because it all sucks, and focus on the match. And I think that it will be Tiffy time. We're going to see that prettiest moonsault ever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably going to be in the air for about 5 seconds. She's going to put the best one she's ever done, for us at WrestleMania, and that's going to be the 1, 2, 3, and she's going to, elevate herself that much more by getting that pin tonight.
I actually thought you'd go Charlotte, Greg. Not gonna lie. So, it is weird because, like you said, Tiffany and Charlotte. I mean, was kind of looked at first as a dream match, just because you have the physical nature of what both women can do. And now that we're kind of seeing it, I think some people are like, maybe these, and sometimes that's just the way it is. Sometimes maybe two people you think should work well together just don't mesh. And so I kind of hope this is the only time, unless, like you said, Greg, we get a good banger of a match out of it. What about you, Sean? Which direction are you going? The Flair or Stratton?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Greg when it comes to the build up. It was messy. Like you said it before too. It was kind of not what we expected. But to kind of go off of that, I think what they could have done with that is taken a turn more to like Charlotte being that top, what the top girl or the top lady. And Tiffy saying, no, it's me, it's my turn, it's Tiffy time. I mean, it works so perfect, but they strayed away from that. And I think I heard someone say before, there's 3 things that are guaranteed, and it's death, taxes, and Charlotte Flair winning the title at Mania. But at the end of the day, I think Triple H to WWE, they got to keep Tiffany with it right now. They got to give it to her because there's so much more that can unfold with that, and then kind of show that Charlotte. If you want to give it to her, I keep going back to maybe not now, but SummerSlam. If Charlotte's gonna get that belt, maybe do it at SummerSlam. But right now, I think Tiffany, she keeps it. She wins the night.
And I think with all the Cena talk of records, I don't know if you want Charlotte hitting number 15
and getting that close. Exactly.
Getting
right.
That, like, it kind of not demeans it, but like, because let's face it, Charlotte's probably going to break the record too. Down, I mean, and,
no doubt.
And they're going to have her dad right there when she breaks it. So, and who knows? I mean, it could happen next year with the way she's going. I mean, with that many times.
Right.
So, I think I agree. I think by SummerSlam, I'd like to see where she's at. Because like Greg said, she just physically, I mean, she doesn't look, I'm not saying she looks bad, but she does look like I don't know, it just looks like a skinnier, and maybe that's what she wants. But, when she's that muscular kind of bodybuilder look,
Mhm.
I mean, you put her up against Jade, and then boom, you have two physical specimens going off against each other. So this is all Tiffany for me. I just, like, you brought up Sean, they got to keep her going. And it means more for her to beat Charlotte, I think, than
Yeah.
Charlotte. And especially with the way they've been with Charlotte, they could have easily just said, hey, just go out there and cut. Hey, I'm the greatest. And, we would have been into it probably because that's what Charlotte is. For whatever reason, they've tried Charlotte as a face and it just never stinks because I think, you look at her and she just feels heelish. I mean, that's just the way it is. Now, when you see her outside the ring and the way she meets with fans, it is not like she's pretty shy and reserved. But and then it's funny because in the ring, she's, this completely different character. So it is an interesting, spectrum of ways she can do things. But I'm all for Tiffany Stratton on this.
Yep. I think we all three agree on there.
Yep.
It is Fatu time. I'm going first. I'm stealing the thunder from you. I love me some LA Knight. Greg loves him some LA Knight. Sean, do you love you some LA Knight?
No.
Oh, whoa.
What?
I was totally waiting for the yeah. Oh, wow.
No,
LA Knight
I can't lie.
Okay. Is there anything about him that is not selling you?
No, I like LA Knight as a wrestler, but in this match, I'm a huge Fatu fan, so I can't say yeah on that one. I can't.
This should all be Jacob Fatu's coming out party. And we've talked about this with Greg. I think you even maybe try to have Solo come out there and be like, have his hands out ready for the title, and Jacob just, either walks away or just boom, lays them out, and you got that crowd yelling Fatu, and you're moving on, and Jacob is on the all gas, no brakes, as his shirt says. So
I think we're getting that turn from Fatu being a heel to a face here. The crowd's starting to get behind him.
Yeah. So are we Fatu across the board, Greg?
You know how much it hurts my heart to say it. It hurts my heart. But Sean, I've been an LA Knight fan, formerly known as Eli Drake, back in the TNA days. So going way, way, way back, and I want him to win every match. But like I said, he's my guy. This won't hurt him to lose to this guy. If he was losing to some lower level dude, if he was losing to Humberto or something, I'd be upset about it. But this is, the next dude in line. I mean, this guy is a killer, and he is what I did not know I needed in my life, Jacob Fatu. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so for the sake of raising them both up, there's a new champ. Gotta go Jacob Fatu.
I mean, like you said, there's just something about Jacob that really comes across the screen. Like,
absolutely.
You really feel like this guy could go berserk on you.
I'm glad they gave it to LA Knight and not kept Shinsuke with it at WrestleMania, because I think this match is a lot better than the other that we would have.
So, you kind of came in late, Sean, with Shinsuke. Back in the day, he really was the man.
Right.
Yeah.
I've seen some original, some
like his
older
New
stuff
Japan
with him.
stuff, and I mean, him and Sami Zayn when they first met for the one time ever, one time only. I mean, there was something special in his NXT run, and then he hit the main roster in. Yeah, he was doing a lot of surfing. We'll just say that. So it sucks to see the way Shinsuke's ended up, but like you said, Shinsuke probably shouldn't. He had to get the title because of what he was creating, and then they just. I don't know what to do
from there.
I would love to know. Yeah, I would love to hear to be the fly on the wall with him and creative and see what they might need to do a 10 on 10, 30 on 30 on Shinsuke in his run in WWE, because that would be quite the interesting one. Oh, Do we have a little swerve? We'll let Sean take this one because he loves his theory about this. We got to tell the lovely people super kicking it with Steven and Greg what Sean's theory will be on this match.
Well, I mean, we saw last night what happened, right? I think the unfortunate thing, it doesn't look like our boy Ray is going to be in the match, right?
Yeah.
It looks like he might get taken out.
He was sitting on the side.
Hold on here.
Oh,
Oh,
wow. Okay, I knew there was something about you were pretty. You were fixing that mask a lot. I was like, man, he really is not comfortable with that mask. You better get used to it. There we go.
I think we're gonna see it tonight. I think we're gonna see the Mania debut of Ray Phoenix. I mean, it's not what they planned. It's not. I think this was something they wanted to do later on down the line.
Yeah.
But if Ray's really hurt, if this is really what's going on, then I think we're going to see the Animo go in there tonight for him. I don't think Dragon Lee's a good fit. Like Dragon Lee, like give him the respect, but I think people want to see Ray Phoenix run those ropes and take that mask off of El Grande Americano.
And that's the biggest thing. I think I brought this up with Greg last week. I think we do see the unmasking, even though I guess who was it? Dragon Lee who he did unmask.
Yeah.
So you feel like Dragon Lee should be the one, but I'm perfectly fine with Ray Phoenix being the guy to do it.
Well, maybe Phoenix gets him and Dragon Lee comes out at the end and says, "No, I'm getting you back, man." Boom, here it is.
Takes him out. And then this is all the end of the El Grande Americano. Unless Vince McMahon is back and then he shows up in his butt.
I love that.
I was like, oh God, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. AI has gone too far, or A1 according to Linda McMahon, which is a whole nother conversation. But anyways, so I don't want to go down that route. So yes, this is all whoever is in the match because Ray was literally on that sideline most of that match and walking out pretty gingerly. So if they're milking it as an injury angle, man, they got me hook, line, and sinker, but that looks pretty legit. So this is almost like a happy accident if they can get Ray Phoenix on the card tonight and, go against El Grande Americano, demask him, the crowd goes crazy, LWO celebrates with him, and, Chad is Chad. I do think Gable does need something after this, maybe go on a winning streak or something. Like I would like to see him finally get a singles title, either tag team gold with the, Creed brothers, even as their, de facto manager, something. Like he's due for something now because he's put in the work. I mean, somebody showed the evolution of him, and you think back, Greg, to his Shorty G days with Madcap Moss and all that stuff, and now to be, just feeling like he finally found something. I mean, the thank you thing should have never taken off. Let's face it.
Right.
And just these little details, just these little things, and then boom, that's all it takes. But hopefully after, the summer, maybe it's the summer of Gable, him picking up wins here and there. But this is all whoever's filled in, fill in the blank. Heck, you could put Joaquin Wilde in there. Sorry, Chad Gable, you're eating the L tonight at WrestleMania. But hey, he's on the card. And that's saying something. So which way are you going to go with us, Greg, on this one?
Hey, you know where I'm at. I rolled this out last week that I thought that, American Mate gets to Ray backstage.
Yeah.
And takes him out. And then here's our replacement, as Americano is doing his, victory speech in the ring. And here comes Ray Phoenix. So, I wanted this, and this was the way to get him in. And look what's happened. Now Ray has an injury, and who's the next man up? It's going to be that dude, Ray Phoenix. And as I've said, Sean, the best luchador on the planet, and I will fight you on that. Whoever you want, I will stand on business. Ray Phoenix is the best luchador breathing air today, and he deserves this moment right here at WrestleMania. He's already get some great momentum going. He's had a couple great matches, And there's no better person for him to have a WrestleMania match with than Americano, Jack Gable, who's just a beast in the ring and is going to make this dude look like $1,000,000. Conversely, Ray Phoenix can make him look like $1,000,000 because these two in there together is going to be electric. So, no shame in taking this L, but Ray Phoenix, this is his breakout moment, and I'm super excited for him. So, we will get Ray. Maybe Rey Mysterio comes out and watches, from ringside or something, and takes part in the unmasking. Yeah. But that would be a great, second match of the night to get the fans even hyped up even more after we see Jay win. So,
yeah. All right, next up. Yeah, this one. I love me some New Day. I love War Raiders, but man, this is a Monday Night Raw match if there ever was one. I mean, maybe even main event the Monday night, but SmackDown, I'm very sorry. You guys have got regulated to next week, which the crowd loved last night, in a TLC match.
That's
what
crazy.
Are we doing here? What are we doing here? I picked the New Day because, the New Day needs something. The heel turn has not clicked for me. The family stuff was kind of cool. The first couple weeks of it, okay. But man, that music hits and just the crowd just kind of sits there and like, okay, I mean, if it's crappy music to get a heel heat, hey, go for it. But yeah, this is just, I mean, the War Raiders are good. Don't get me wrong. You got to preface that with both these guys came back from serious injury, like legit stuff. So, you love that they made the card, but also I just hate that the SmackDown Tag Team division has been cooking, as the kids say. If kids are letting me say that again, the chef down there, Nick Aldis, has really let them. But I just cannot believe we're gonna wait till the SmackDown after Mania for a TLC match when it's right there for you. So this is New Day. They win. And we'll see if, there is rumblings. There could be a Big E appearance. So maybe that might cook things a little bit. But, I brought this up with Greg. And, now you can kind of hear too, Sean, where Big E is the guy that's missing from this puzzle. They called him out. His girlfriend went after New Day on Twitter. So, I mean, you can't really you need Big E in there somehow. And without him in there, even if it's commentary, if it's, then keep calling him out for not wrestling. I mean, it needs to be something because they can't call out everybody else because we don't care about those people. Those people don't mean much to New Day. So I think New Day wins because, like I said, they need to do something and they can kind of do the snarky, hey, we're the greatest. We're not going to defend this every week or whatever. They can kind of play that up. They can play up, hey, we're going to defend it against who we want to or something like that to Adam Pearce and whatnot. So, but this whole thing this needs to be like in the middle as a fluffer match, if you want to say, so. Sean, what are you thinking? War Raiders or New Day? And what do you think about the New Day as heels?
I'm not the biggest that was the whole fun of the New Day was the fun. I think that was the whole part of it. It was the fun of it, and there's no fun there anymore. So now it's kind of lost its lore to me. Yeah. So as much as I don't want to see them do it, they do still have that backing, I guess. That a lot of people do. I do agree. I've heard Big E is a possible factor in this match somewhere. But I'm going to stick with my crazy theory here.
Okay.
Why would you put this crazy match on WrestleMania? Well, you got who's the tag team title holders over at TNA?
That's the Hardy Boys.
That's the Hardy Boys.
Mm.
What a better time to bring back the Hardys
Yeah.
to the WWE than WrestleMania in a stinker fluffer match that's going to come out here. I'm not saying they come out and they're part of it, but they come out and they say, hey, we're back and we're coming here. And that could make a difference there. But I think at the end of the day, and I see what you're saying as far as the New Day, they need something. I just don't think the crowd's behind it, and I think Triple H sees that as well, and I think it stays with the War Raiders.
Now, if you throw the Hardy Boys out there, that does play into, the New Day reintroduce the Hardy Boys. And what better way than to have Kofi and Xavier just go ham on them and then walk out with their own damn titles. And then you have the Hardy Boys kind of looking back like, in the ring, consoling each other. Now, I'm sold on them because that's a legit tag team that could handle the Hardy or handle the New Day as faces. So I love the theory. I just don't know if
fingers crossed.
I think we need something in this match to not give it the stink that it has right now.
Right.
So which way do you think you go, Greg? Do you like these little theories we're throwing? You love, booking big things like this, so we're probably stealing your thunder.
No, I'm digging it. Sean is bringing it, man. I don't know if that's Sean or Excalibur in there, but he's coming with all the knowledge. Man, he's killing it, man. You need to come on more often, dude.
Were you at Orlando when the Hardy Boys came back?
I was.
Okay.
WrestleMania 33. I was there.
Nice.
It was huge.
And that thing was like so kept under wraps.
Yeah.
So and this could be too, because we don't, we're not really, like you said, other than that little video where Matt Hardy played up, there's an official WWE vehicle for him. And who knows if that could have been an old video or something, who knows?
Right.
But, so yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Greg, and continue on.
Yeah, if there had been a roof on that stadium, it would have been blown off when the Hardys came out.
Mm-hmm.
It was an electric moment, one of the hugest pops I've ever heard. Definitely in person. But as far as this match goes, I've been enjoying see the Bizarro New Day. All we've seen is Happy New Day, aside from their inception where they were heels and they became what we know the New Day is. For 10 or so title runs. And just like John Cena, I'm super into this heel turn. They did it perfectly with turning their back on Big E, and then week after week after week getting booed out of the building, and then getting kicked out of the locker room, and finally getting to get on the stick and go. It's all about us now, and it's been working on me. It does need something. It needs some juice. And, I'm going to give shout out to the War Raiders. Like I said, they came back from some really serious career-ending potential injuries. So I'm glad they're getting their moment on the biggest stage to have their moment. However, I got to go with New Day because this is the cherry on top of this heel turn is giving them the titles and then having them be able to get in the ring and, cut those New Day promos, but those dark New Day promos. And that's why it feels so funny, because we're seeing the opposite of what we're used to seeing for the last 10 years or so. And it just looks weird. It feels weird. And it's going to take a minute before it sits right. But you're going to need the perfect foil to make that happen a little bit faster. And Big E would be a great person to do that, because that's unfinished business right there. And if Big E is ready to be cleared, or is, if he's cleared, they're going to know about it, but we're not going to know about it. But that'd be a great moment for him to come out and say, I'm cleared. And now every eye is going to be locked in and, seeing what's going to happen. So I think this has banger potential.
Yeah, because they both can
War
go.
Raiders, with War Raiders getting their first big spotlight at WrestleMania and New Day doing what New Day does, I have no doubt that this could be the most underrated banger match of the night, because it's going to be very, high impact, high intensity, and with the power of the War Raiders and the aerial ability of New Day, there could be some awesome spots in this moment that just get everybody out of their seat. So it feels like a bathroom break match, but I will be watching every minute because I think it can be the opposite.
Yeah.
I think this could be an underrated banger, and we're gonna have new champs, the new day.
The new day.
New day. How about this one? A little second ever singles match for women with no stipulation. Just crazy to think it's been that long. You know, we've had plenty of times that I thought you could have done a couple women on the card, but this is it. History making for them. And, I think Jade gets the win, even though Naomi probably needs a little bit more with the way she's been healing it up. And yesterday, we also saw a little Bianca flavor in there. I still think we get Bianca involved after Mania. Now, if you would have switched it, like if the women's title match would have been on tonight for Raw with Bianca involved, then the next night Bianca could get involved in this match, I'm all for it. Some people are calling for Bianca to get involved tonight. I just don't know if I see that yet. I think we want to let that kind of, and especially since she's like, I'll probably be off SmackDown for a while because I'll be the women's champion. So it's like, well, Bianca's probably losing then. Because I think this is where she needs to be involved in. She needs to, be involved with Bianca or with Naomi, with Jade. I do think Jade gets the win tonight. How about you, Sean? Which way you going, Jade or Naomi tonight?
So I'm with you on the push there, but I think that right now that Naomi, that proceed with caution. Yeah, that's tough, man. That's a good watch right there. I think she's got that intensity going into it. They've kind of portrayed Jade as being that unstoppable force kind of moving forward. But I mean, I think at the end of the day, I keep giving my son a load here because he wants to see Naomi win, and I keep saying Jade's gonna do it, Jade's gonna do it. But I really think they're gonna give it to Naomi. I think Naomi gets it done.
She probably needs and like I said, she needs a little bit more, and I understand that. I don't know, it's Jade. Like I feel like Triple H is pretty high on her, and Naomi is now. What you could play it up to is Naomi's sick of being that woman that is kind of like the gatekeeper. Yep. That's what she's been, and even I saw a little clip from her from Wally Mania. It's like before there was Paige, there was Naomi. Before there was Becky, there was Naomi. Before so and so, there was Naomi. So you could have her play that up, and I don't think I would. I wouldn't hate a Naomi win. I just don't know if I see it tonight. So what about you, Greg?
I'm with you. I'm thinking that Naomi's always been there. She's like Natalya. She and Natalya are like the OGs of the women's division. They've always been there. They've always been solid. They've always been consistent. And I like this new Naomi. I'm not a huge fan of the caution tape because it still makes me think of Owen Hart every time I see it. But she's working it. She's got her new catchphrase, proceed with caution. She's promos are looking better. She's dropped the glow gimmick mostly, and she's more serious and intense. I like those promos she's been cutting. They've been hitting hard, and they've been hitting with truth instead of just being happy, joy. And I want her to win this match. And part of the problem is that I know they want Jade to be that next woman up as far as star power and everything, but she still comes up the crickets, man. I mean, she may be getting a little bit of fan backing because we're following the story and we want her to get some revenge, but from what I've seen, she's still coming out the crickets pretty much. They're much more invested in Naomi and Bianca than they are in her. So I don't know if that's going to play into it at all. But for me, officially, I'm going to plant my flag with Naomi, and I want to see her turn go further.
Yeah. I mean, I really do agree with you both. I think Naomi needs it and probably should get the win. Because, and I do give Greg credit. I think there is a little bit of Naomi hasn't hit the gear that I think we can see her hitting, like a Charlotte Flair yet. Yep. And, I think it is going to take that right feud, that right bit of juice behind her to really get going there. So. But no juice needed here. We know all three guys. We know where everybody's at. We know Paul Heyman, for now, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, will be walking out with CM Punk in his first ever main event of WrestleMania. Even though, yes, you could go back to AEW where CM Punk said, hey, you could be on a WrestleMania night, buy one, get one free, or whatever he said, close to that. And now he is main eventing night one. It's still main event. Seth Rollins dropped some pipe bombs last night. Roman Reigns has dropped his own. Everybody, I mean, this is just which man is going to be left standing, because that's where we're going to be at. I have brought up who I think should win and where I think Paul Heyman might lie. Let's give Sean the floor as our special guest to finish us off for the day. Which direction are you going in this one, Sean? And any thoughts on Paul Heyman's involvement?
I've loved what they've been doing with Paul Heyman lately. The whole push and tug. I want him. No, I want him. He's in my corner. Everything. Seth telling him to get out. He doesn't belong there. He should just stay back and watch. That was cool too. So all three of them kind of playing against him or for him, with him. It's been interesting, and I think Heyman is one of the better in the industry to really play this up. He's done such a good job with it. Man, this is a hard one to guess. I really, any way you look at it, you can have stuff coming off of it, out of it. But I think what's going to happen at the end of the day is we're going to see CM Punk take it. I think he's going to get it. That kind of ignites that feud again with Seth and Roman, so that can continue. We get that going on for the next Backlash, maybe something crazy with Backlash coming up, or even the PLE after that. But to really build that Seth and Roman again, and then that just kind of ignites the whole hatred for CM Punk that Seth has as well. On top of that, if he wins here tonight, so it continues. It stacks layers on layers, and I really think that could be a good one. I've seen where people say that Paul Heyman might change and go to another person in this, but I don't see that happening. I think he's going to stay true to CM Punk here tonight. It's Roman, I think, pushed him off to the side. He threw him down, and I think that was kind of the sign that he's done with you. I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't want you. So stay out of my corner. So I think that might play into Heyman's whole philosophy here tonight.
What about you, Greg? Which direction are you going to go with this one?
I think Sean's 100% correct. It's like, this is so hard to pick. That's because they've done such a masterful job telling everybody's story and interlinking all of these rivalries between the three of them. It's hard enough to do with two people, but you've taken three people who are like the alphas, the top guys, and you've tied them all together in a knot so tight that, there is no obvious winner. You can make a case for every single one of these guys winning the belt, and there would be no wrong answer, because everybody is so, on the level of the other. And Paul is pretty much, he's the tipping point. So, like I said last week, he's like the sun, and all the planets are revolving around him. And I've been wrestling with it the whole week, as far as, who's going to be the guy. He started with Roman, and then Seth calls in his favor, and now he's with him. Or CM Punk calls in a favor, now he's with him. And now Seth goes, you owe me a favor. And now all three of these guys want Paul. And the person who should be the least important person in the match is now the most important person in the match. So it's so like it's just so brilliant what this story, what they've done, and they've got essentially the manager being the person who's going to tip the scales for whoever the winner is. So as far as my official prediction, I'm going to go with CM Punk because, give him his moment. He's already in the main event, so that was the thing he's been working for his whole life. But I'm intrigued what CM Punk looks like with the championship. In this era, when we saw it 10 years ago, 12 years ago, but now I want to see what he's able to do with this environment, this locker room, and how this carries forward, going on. So it's, like I said, it's almost a coin flip. There's a 300-headed coin. I'd be spinning it right now, but I will go ahead and cast my lot with Sean and say CM Punk.
Now I'm going to go against the grain because I have brought this up, and I am going to give credit to the internet for once because there's something there between Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins. Paul Heyman has never been with Seth Rollins, been aligned with him. Now you have the favor, and you throw that in your back pocket. Maybe it comes out in favor tonight. I think CM Punk's going to get all the flowers tonight, and I hate to say he might eat the L because I think he's going to get the entrance in living color is in Las Vegas.
Yeah, but
they're going to play him out. Let's face it. He's going to get the main event. He'll probably come out last. And then, unfortunately, he might, because I think you have an intriguing story of Seth finally overcoming CM Punk with the help of Paul Heyman. And you have Seth Rollins looking tall at the end of night one. And some people even brought up, does this carry over to night two? Because Seth Rollins has been looking very corporate-esque, like a Rock, and, maybe bring up some John Cena best for business talk. There could be a little, Rock and Cena might need somebody on the inside, right? Because Rock is the Rock. He might not be on TV ever other than tomorrow night. John Cena might need to go away with the title, or maybe he loses and they need somebody else in the fold. Why not? Let's, Paul Heyman be involved with this whole, whatever angle it's going in. Let Seth Rollins cook on it. And I think Seth Rollins gets the win tonight. There's something there that I think Seth, I almost feel like he needs it out of the most too. Just because he's kind of been pushed to the side. So it always feels like, like the Io Sky of tomorrow night. She keeps getting pushed to the side. It just makes you wonder, does that mean they're going to get the better end? And I think we do see Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins standing tall because we will need a closing shot that really gets you like, oh, okay, this is happening.
Pushes you through, man.
I love me CM Punk. I have CM Punk on my playlist, every single playlist I have. Who does not have cult personality? I've met him twice. I met him at in 2011 at a car dealership, whereas me and my brother is the only people there. So me and CM Punk, yeah, we're good. But I do think this is all about Seth Rollins tonight because I think that's the most intriguing outcome. And we got a comment in there. Oh, there's Big Ben. Big Ben is in there. Feel free, Big Ben, to throw out some of your predictions. It is good to see him. But I think tonight is going to be the Seth Rollins. And like we said, out of the crazy clothes, maybe down to a, just wrestling gear or, some sort of straight up look now with Paul Heyman leading into the ring. And there we go. And, maybe Seth Rollins going after Jey. This does almost feel like a de facto number one contendership. Like you said, CM Punk could win. He could go chase Gunther or Jey Uso, whoever wins. Roman wins. He can go after Cody or Cena. Seth wins. He could go after, who knows? Paul Heyman, the favorite might be, hey, I'm going to go to SmackDown now with Paul Heyman. So it is funny that we couldn't. I wish we could have almost put like the winner goes on to tomorrow night, but we also brought up we don't need any more multi-man matches, right, Greg?
Amen.
We're
good on that.
We love multi-people matches, and I do want to get as many people on the card. And people brought up on Twitter that, but this also should be a hey, you earn this. It's not just you participate throughout the year. Yes, you were Otis, you should get on WrestleMania. No, like you need to really work and show why you're on here. So I'm really looking forward to this one though, because like you said, Paul Heyman being the X Factor is which direction does he go? Because that will be the tipping point. And triple threat, anything, chairs can be brought in, ladders, the announce table could be broken. We could see who knows what else. So, but straight up, just let them go at it. We can see Roman and Seth team up for a little bit just for fun. And, power bomb CM Punk old school style. It will be interesting to see maybe if Punk and Seth team up for a second on Roman or Roman and, CM Punk because they had the history in War Games. So this night one, Sean, you brought it up. Night one's kind of a little more intriguing than night two, but night two, you have the Cody Cena factor. Like, which direction? And yes, you have the coming out party of Penta, and you have the women's women's world title, where I think all three of those women wanted to prove they should have been the main event because a lot of people were pushing for that too. So
I think night one has more ongoing story. So what happens tonight, we're going to see continue on throughout. But what happens tomorrow at the end of that kind of is more the end of that kind of storyline. If Braun loses, he gets up the card, so he's out of the Intercontinental match and things like that. So I do think tonight's more of an ongoing story. Tomorrow's of let's finish the story.
And then, of course, we have the Randy Orton Open Challenge tomorrow night. What do you think, Tom? Do you have any thoughts on who might answer that real quick? Then we can let you go and enjoy the day.
I've seen people. I think the Aleister Black. What's that? He's 424. So I don't think they're gonna pop him into that. That doesn't make sense. I've seen some crazy rumors that Rusev is gonna come popping out of that. What a pop that would be! Right there.
Come out of the tank again.
And man, honestly, I was gonna say Solo, but I feel like that would have been announced last night.
Yeah.
So honestly, I think Rusev makes sense. You get the pop you need. It left it wide open for that Sunday. Like, hey, whoever's back there, come on and bring it. I mean, if he comes back and boom, or do you give? I know this is crazy, but Braun Strowman's been working his rear end off. He's been giving everybody the upper hand. He's been lifting up people. I don't know if there's anything there. I think that's a crazy look, but to give a guy like a pat on the back, I guess. But really, when it comes down to it, I think we're gonna hear Rusev's music hit, and that pop will just go crazy there.
They are in Vegas, I'm sure, because him and Lana were in a car together in Vegas. So there you go. Looks like they had Mr. Beast in the back with them too. So that's a weird combination. But hey, it's WrestleMania weekend. Do what?
We got the Hardys coming back tonight. We got Rusev coming back tomorrow. That's my prediction.
There you go. Now we've been running with Nick Aldis. The fact that
and that would be a good. I mean, there's build up there. At least there's build up there. But I think if you're going to pull somebody out of the locker room, it's going to be somebody coming back and to really make that pop happen.
All right. Well, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. I'm saying with our prediction of Nick Aldis, because there's still a receipt coming for that RKO, but he can't do it in a general manager in a suit.
It's wrestling gear.
Right. He needs to put on the gear and come out. Sean, I don't know if you've seen Nick Aldis in TNA, but dude, his muscles have muscles. So that talk about underrated bangers. That could be an underrated banger if he puts on the gear and comes out, answers the challenge. I don't want Rusev or Aleister Black to come out of the locker room because they need a big reveal. And this would be a big reveal, but I want to see a big reveal to a loss.
Right.
We need to get that forward momentum going the right way.
Right.
So not that a loss at WrestleMania is the worst thing, it's still WrestleMania, but I want to start the the new league year of the WWE, at the day after WrestleMania,
Right.
on a clean slate, 0-0, and we go on from there. So I like the Rusev, but that's why I don't want to see him in the match.
Makes sense.
Nick Aldis could come out and eat all the L's in the world, and he still gets credit for coming out and facing Randy Orton like a man. So, like I said, the guy's a great wrestler. So, he's put that on the shelf, and it'd be a great time to come out and introduce that to the WWE universe. So,
yep.
I'm still about that business. I hope he does it. Do you expect any more surprises? Faces we haven't seen in a while.
That's what people are bringing up. Is it because I can't think there's the Nikki Bella out there that we haven't seen her, Alexa Bliss, we haven't seen her, but since Royal Rumble, those both two women that I thought would actually be on TV more, and now it hasn't happened. Now Nikki Bella did have some interesting comments that Brie on their podcast. Brie was like, "Hey, I heard you're busy in June." And that could be leading up to Evolution. And, hey, what better way to get all the women involved that you can on there? So maybe that could be their coming out party there. Mm-hmm. Is there any name? I just can't think of, but I also think I kind of like WrestleMania to where it's the people that are there right now putting on their best foot. Because I just can't think of any names right now that I'm like, should I want them to show up. Oh, yeah. Hardy Boys? Matt Cardona?
Matt Cardona, no.
Hey, could come out with his wife. He could be Mr. Chelsea Green.
Right?
That is, I will say, Chelsea Green did deserve a WrestleMania spot. If we're going to say, hey.
I thought it was weird to have Lyra end up winning that with Bailey and not there's no Intercontinental Women's, there's no USA Women's title on the line. I
think that's a way to put her on there. And then people have brought up, but does Bailey turn on Lyra? Because you do have Bailey being very buddy with her. And, Bailey loves to do the heel. I mean, now that she's done the heel thing, I think she loves it more than the face thing. But, the ultimate heel thing will be when her little super fan, Izzy, shows up, because there is so much storyline written there where you have Izzy, who is an 8-year-old fan of Bailey, hugging Bailey every time she came to NXT. You could have them start as a tag team, and boom, Bailey says, "F this." I'm the teacher, you're the student, and man, we are rolling in the money like Scrooge McDuck, because that would be something I'd want to see. Because they brought. I was listening to Busted Open today. You'll be happy to know that, Greg, because Busted Open was on. It was a replay, and they were talking about that, like how could you not pass up this story of Bailey, the old guard, and you have Izzy coming up at 18, 19 years old, crossing over the guard, coming across the guardrails, in the movie Rockstar, where they pull Mark Wahlberg, like, hey,
right,
you want to be Steel Dragon's new singer. And, he learns all about, what better story could you have than showing little Izzy growing up before our eyes? Because she'll be 18 in May, they said, which is crazy to think. Because, like I said, I still remember her as wearing the hugger gear and had the side ponytail. Sasha stealing her headband at NXT.
Female version of Dirty Dom.
So, yes, it is all right there for us. But Bailey turned on Lyra could be something too, because we need Lyra to kind of start, earning her wings, pun intended there. So,
right.
That could be why they put them in there. And because that's another thing too, the women's tag team, does that need to be on WrestleMania this year? Probably not.
That's just that they just want to live on the Mania cards.
They want to live on there. And like I said, I think you put Lyra on there as hey, we did put one of the mid-card women champions on there, but Chelsea Green she should have done the Randy Orton Open Challenge. And then you can have Alexa Bliss answer it. You can have Nikki Bella answer it.
Yep.
You can have Zelina Vega come out to crickets and answer it. I mean, I really wish you could have put Chelsea on there because,
yeah, I agree.
Chelsea has done, and she brought this up before. She's like, I don't care if I get 5 seconds, if I get 30 minutes, if I get 10 minutes, I'm going to make the most of whatever time I have. And you talk about, and because that's what Matt Cardona did back in his, back when he was Zack Ryder. So, both of them together, that could really be something if you could make that work right. So, especially, like you said, if you have Matt Cardona maybe carrying the championship for her, maybe he's the first gentleman, of her person.
That'd be good.
So, there's something there, and it gets him back on TV, kind of gets him back in the, spotlight type deal. And, then if you want to play the jealousy angle, he goes off and does his singles thing. So, there's storyline there for Chelsea Green. But is there names you're thinking of, Greg, that you wanted to throw out there?
I'm thinking Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
She's been off for a while doing mom things, and got to think this getting the juices flowing. Would it be a WrestleMania? And she's been out of sight, out of mind for a long time, and nobody, aside from a random CM Punk comment, has mentioned Becky's name. So it would be a huge pop. I would love to see her back and mix herself in with the women's scene. I don't see it happening during WrestleMania, but I'm all about Paige. You've seen her get back.
That could be a name to look for, I think.
Yep. And as much as I want to see it,
oh no,
rather it not happen. But when you look at it, that we got all the Paul Heyman guys in one place at the same time.
No, don't say it. Do not say it, Greg.
One guy missing.
I'll talk it over you so you don't say it. Nope. Where's my awkward
one guy missing.
Oh God! Do not say it, Greg.
You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. Oh man, we would love to see my dude Brock Lesnar come out and the F5 everybody take the belt. Screw you guys. This belongs to me. I'm the original Paul Heyman guy.
He's already done that before. WrestleMania 34, he threw it at Vince. So yeah, I'm good. I'm good with Brock. He can go. I don't know.
Love that.
Do you think would he even show up for a Hall of Fame induction if he had one? Like,
he accepted from his farm.
Yeah,
right.
He did. He's the first ever via satellite acceptee because I just can't. Once I saw Greg, the wheels turn in Greg's brain, I'm like, nope.
Don't say it.
Removed him from the chat. So,
you gotta love it, man. No bread, no water, just me.
I'd rather see Otis on the card than Brock Lesnar. And that's second spot. You could have Burt Kreischer and Otis tearing off their
God.
Just give me that. But anyway, so all right, Sean.
Brock Lesnar guy.
Going.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for giving us the time. And we will talk up some NXT while you go shift gears. So thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye. All right, Greg, let's shift right into NXT because we are just 50 minutes away, according to my watch right here. Let's kind of get down and dirty with it. We got a lot of women in this tag team contenders fatal 4-way. So whatever tag team gets it first, I'm going to go Roxanne and Cora because Roxanne definitely needs to be back up on the main card. I think it'd be a good exposure for Cora, even if it's a one-off or, whatever. It's funny to see Lash Legend, Jakara. Just remember last year, they were on the Saudi card in the tag team women's match, and now they're back in NXT. Not really sure what they're doing with them. Gigi and, Tatum are two crazy women that I love to look at Gigi. I'm not going to lie online, but other than that, in the ring, it's and then you do have, Fatal Influence, if you really want to play it up, hey, talk about surprises, Greg. Mandy Rose, maybe she could even the odds for them.
Hey.
What a way to reintroduce her, but it's all about Roxanne and Cora. I think they got to get the win. They go off to face Liv and Liv and Raquel, or Bayley and Lyra if you want to do a more of a face-heel dynamic. I guess that would be the downfall. You would have Roxanne. I mean, I think the crowd would cheer more for Roxanne and Cora over Liv and Raquel, but, I think you could play it up somehow, because I really need to see Roxanne on the main roster full-time, which is where she should have been after Royal Rumble. So which tag team would you like to pull out?
Hey, I'm with you. There's nothing wrong with some heel-on-heel action.
Yeah.
And, Roxanne and Cora are the most ready for this moment.
Yep.
And to go up and face Liv and Raquel and legitimately have a good chance at beating them. So, I'm with you. I'm going to ride with them.
Yep. Oh, shoot. Trying to finish it. There we go. All right. Next up, Dark State. Is it the end of D'Angelo win and stuff?
Probably. I mean, they've done a good job showing the cracks in the foundation of the D'Angelo family.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be surprised if this is the end as far as this incarnation of the D'Angelo
maybe they
crew.
could pivot into something else.
Yeah, or maybe they see Tony's ready to come up,
Yeah.
and now we have the underboss as the man, and he creates this thing in his own image. So I think we put over Dark State, established them as the next big faction coming, and get them some juice, and we can restructure, reinvent the D'Angelo family, and bring up Tony. I think he's ready to come up.
I think I might actually bring up the whole family.
Yeah.
Bringing them Raw, they got 3 hours. I mean, you could do some tag team stuff, single stuff. At first I didn't think they were ready, but I think we do need some fresh blood, fresh faces on there. So why not, like you said, go on the way out, let Dark State get this win, and move on. Fraxium versus Hank and Tank. Greg, at first I was like, just for the hell of it, don't you give Hank and Tank the tag team titles? But then I'm like, Fraxium has been too damn good to lose it to Hank and Tank on a Stand and Deliver at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. So I'm going Fraxium. And this would be a one, too, that I think, maybe have the Hardys show up and be like, okay, we're going to do this legit. Tag titles for tag titles, all the gold. But I do like Sean's idea, Hardy Boys showing up on Mania. So unless you want to do something with Fraxium, maybe they show up, just staying at the top of the ramp, because they've been tag team champions forever now.
Yeah.
Feels like, it's been a good chunk of time. So, but, I also think, hey, NXT does do some wild things every once in a while. So Hank and Tank getting the win, on a feel good moment probably would be something. But yeah, this is all Fraxium in my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I see what they're doing with Hank and Tank, but I'm not feeling them. I just don't feel them. And so I got to stick with Fraxium. This is like the worst team to take the belts from them. So I know it's going to happen eventually, but not tonight.
Yep. Let's keep moving along. We got an AEW Dynamite match.
Right?
I have loved Ricky Saints. I love what Ethan Page has done. This is another guy. I would love to see Ethan Page get the call up after Mania. I think the draft is happening soon after, or, in maybe May-ish, Greg, but Ethan Page is ready. I want to see him mix it up. I thought he got the seal of approval from The Rock, which, I mean, do you need anything else to get you called up, Greg? I mean, I don't know. So
Absolutely not.
Ricky Saints does keep the win here, but I think both guys, they both have that chip on their shoulder. I think they both want to show the world what they can do on this stage. So I'm expecting a really solid match. And I think Ricky does get the end of it at the end.
Yeah, I agree with you. That so Ricky Saints, he's the next man up.
Mm-hmm.
And Ethan Page, he's ready to go. Like I said, he's got the thumbs up from The Rock.
Yeah.
And I've liked his new, more dark approach. Starting with the Javon Evans breaking his jaw, and just going overall more dark, and he's just been better to watch. So bring that up to the main roster, and he's going to get over huge.
Almost like a psychological type killer.
Yeah.
More cerebral, I guess, if you want to call it so. This one, we got a lot of women vying for the North American Championship ladder match. I loved Ariana Grace saying this match should not be happening because she's not in it, and how unsafe she did it. She had some Instagram or something just saying all the danger factors, and like I forgot. I think she told Thea, she's like, "Do you know how dangerous it is?" And Thea's just like, "Yeah, that's the point." So nice to see Thea get back on the TV. It's been a while. Lola Vice, cooking. Kaylani Jordan. Greg, I was like, man, I wouldn't be surprised if you give it right back to Kaylani. But I think it's going to be Zarya. I think they love this international flavor of women they have now. We've already seen it with Julia getting the big push. We've seen with Stephanie, obviously. Oh, my God, Stephanie still. Those IGs and her Twitter, I mean, she just wants to blow up the internet. So Zarya, and I don't know what Zarya is yet. Character-wise, Greg, I don't think she really knows, but
exactly.
I kind of hate giving it to her for that fact, but I do feel like that's what it must be William Regal down there cooking with Sean, because I think Regal loves the international flavor of women down there. So we are going to see a soul snatcher off the ladder, and that would be cool to see. Maybe Lola Vice gives us Izzy Dame as a one to watch, I guess, because we really haven't seen Izzy in a big time match like this. So I think that's a lot. And she is dating Braun Breaker, so I'm sure she's not getting any, she's getting some plenty of love down there, Greg.
Nice.
But I'm going to go for Zarya with the win in the end, climbing up that ladder.
All right. Good pick. I'm just mulling through them. Can make sure I got all the names in there. We got Zarya, we got Soul, we got
Thea,
Lola, Thea,
Kaylani,
and loving
Soul.
her new personality.
Are you going with your girl Soul?
I gotta stick with it. Yep.
Okay. Soul Snatcher for the win.
We're gonna see that Soul Snatcher. Yep.
And that's what I kind of feel like. I think Zarya is gonna turn on Soul. Because, we keep saying they do not look good together. And the fact that Soul's trying to make this work so much, I think Zarya just gets tired of it. It's like, it's my time. Give me the title. So, but go ahead with your thoughts on Soul Ruka.
Well, you just, when you see that, Kehlani's already had it. We've seen Lola go for it multiple times.
Yeah.
Soul's one who really hasn't had a true shot at it. I mean, she may have had one title shot, but she's ready. She's so huge down there, and that Soul Snatcher is the most beautiful move in all NXT. And that's the perfect move to win a championship. Super athletic, the look, the vibe, everything is working for her, and I want to see it. Soul Snatcher. 1, 2, 3, probably off the ladder. And how's this for a little added flavor is that she hits it on Zarya.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I think they implode tonight today essentially is where we're thinking on that. So what else? Oh, this one, you might notice I did not put this last because I've brought up I think we know where we should go last. But Obafemi, Trick Williams, Javon Evans. Javon keeps kind of getting the loose end of all this, Greg. I feel like he's kind of the odd man out especially when you look at these two guys. It's almost like two big dogs, and then you got a little puppy dog, like the old Tom and Jerry cartoon where the big dog is like, he's coming up, and then the little yappy dog is there. Obafemi is ready for the main roster, I think, Greg. Trick Williams is ready. But the NXT still needs that down there. So, maybe draft time. Maybe Trick gets a call finally. Maybe him and now that Carmelo's kind of healed. now that Trick's playing up a heel, what better way to kind of build that up? But Obafemi takes the win for this one. Master of the world, ruler of all. He just keeps rolling, Greg. People are loving, people are really behind him. I think him getting a nice solid run is what NXT needs right now because there's just not many contenders left for him. So he might need to retire the title and then move ahead. But yeah, this is all Oba for me.
Oh man, this is I want so bad to pull the trigger for Javon.
Okay.
Javon is been killing it, and he is, one of my big issues with baby faces is that you don't see that fire. You don't see that them wanting to be the bad guy. Them showing that you hit me, I'm going to hit you back harder. But you see that out of Javon, and he's happy and he's dancing and he is vibing with the audience. But when it's time to get down to business, he can flip that switch, and there you see that guy. He's shown that, and he's shown that in his personality. He's got that killer instinct. That's what I'm looking for. A lot of guys, and I'll throw out Joe Hendry as a perfect example. I don't see killer instinct out of Joe Hendry. Yeah. He has matches, but I haven't seen him really mad that, okay, now you're going to get it. That killer instinct. That's what I look for, even in baby faces. And Javon has it in spades. The angle with Ethan Page after the broken jaw did a lot for that, but now it's cooking with it. And I love to be able to see that in him because, you can still have baby faces with killer instinct, and he has it. And he's holding his own in those promos. And this is going to be banger, guaranteed banger. There's no way that it cannot be, I think. And I want to say that he's going to win so bad because Oba's ready, Trick's ready, both of them to come up. Yeah. But I think you're going to have to leave one of them down there for Javon to take it off of.
Yeah.
So as much as I'm going to have to go with you and say that it's going to be Oba retaining, and before he's coming up, then that's going to be the biggest feather in Javon's cap to take it from him.
Yeah.
Most of been tricked.
I was saying Javon got that match with Randy Orton in Randy Orton's only time in NXT. I think that says a lot. That might say all we need to be said for where they think Javon could go. You don't give Randy Orton anybody, so I think, it could be his time by summer, whenever SummerSlam weekend is. So, right. And him beating Oba could be that kind of underdog versus, David versus Goliath story, which is what wrestling's kind of built on. So, and like I said, I would love to see Trick Williams get called up and then Oba soon after. Because they could definitely make some waves on the main roster. So. But I purposely put this last because I brought this up before. This should be the main event today. The women are carrying the brand right now, Greg. Like you said, right. Look at that. Look at the North American match. You got some solid women there in the mid card. Jordan Grace has looked like she's been in from day one. She does not look like out of place. We're trying with Jada Parker. I don't know, Greg. Where are we with Jada Parker?
I love Jada Parker. I think she is awesome. Everybody's, the Miss Parker chants.
Yeah.
They love her.
Yeah.
I would love to see her come up to Raw now. Okay. She's got the total package. She's got the look. She's got the confidence. She's able, she's great in the ring. And, it's just, what do you bring with you? And she's got that total package as far as ability. And I would love to see her filtered into the women's division on the main roster. But it would be great to see her with the championship before she comes up, just to give her that extra credibility.
Yep. Who are you going to go with? What woman are you picking in this match?
Man, okay. So let's see.
That's Stephanie, the champion, Julia, Jordan, and Jada.
Whew. Yeah, you're right. This should be the main event, hands down.
I mean, this is pretty much the women carrying the brand, and like really, like not just in the ring, Greg. I feel like they really want to carry that flag. This almost feels like Four Horsewomen-esque, in their own way of. And hey, this is this is NXT now. Like this is black and gold, 2.0. And because each woman brings her own taste and flavor too. So
True. Like I said, Stephanie is, she is looking awesome. Her matches have been great. I love Julia and her new attitude. She came back. Jordan, I'm still feeling out Jordan.
Okay.
In a way, she feels a little bit like China. Just kind of the looks and the personality, and even when she gets on the mic, it feels China-esque. And not that that's a bad thing, but I need more time with her to vibe with her. I didn't see most of her TNA run, and I'm still getting sold on Jordan, so I'm not there with her yet. Miss Parker, definitely, I'm feeling her. I think would be great. So as far as my official winner, I gotta go Miss Parker. We're gonna crown her.
Gonna pull the trigger.
Pulling the trigger.
We're gonna crown her ass.
There you go. There you go. She is red hot right now. When after Roxanne goes up, Booker T's gonna need somebody else to hype.
He's gonna do Jada.
He's all about Jada Parker, and I think it's her moment that she's going to shine, and against these three, so she got that win. That's going to be a huge feather in her cap. I'd say crown her, Jada Parker. That's my pick.
Okay, I'm sticking to Stephanie. I just think you keep rolling with her. I mean, she's doing the interviews, she's doing the promos, she's working in the ring. I mean, she's got everything working for her. So I just don't see any reason. I guess I could do a asterisk on there, like, do we just give it back to Julia since she's good to go? But I love Stephanie a little bit more than Julia. So, but I don't necessarily hate your Jada Parker. Let her kind of get the upset win and see what she can do with it. Because, I think between Julia and Stephanie, we know they can do it. And Jordan could chase Julia or Jada for a little bit. Maybe Julia and Stephanie kind of go off on their own non-title feud. And let that, kind of cook things. So I've been saying that way too much. I need to stop saying that word because kids are going to love me. But anyway, I think NXT, I think we're going to see a good event. We're just about ready to tip it off soon. And I'm just, this Mania weekend is just going to be a good time. I was listening to Busted Open and I'm just like, man, need it here in Indy soon. And it's like, I know we're getting it. We just don't know when. So it's like, just need to get it soon, get in all the festivities, go to, get the pocketbook opened up, as they say, because who knows what it might be by then, Greg. I the ticket price, I do wonder if it is because of Vegas. Vegas feels like everything costs a little bit more. So hopefully it'll be a little reasonable by the time it rolls around here. But I'm just looking forward.
It wasn't bad. I went last night and I looked at prices for night one.
Maybe come down a little bit.
They have. I saw some online on the Game Time app that were cheaper than the ones that we bought from Royal Rumble.
Okay.
And they weren't up in the nosebleeds. They were actually on like the 200 level.
Okay.
So me, I was super.
You almost pulled that trigger.
Get up early in the morning, get on the plane.
Yeah.
But I think I would enjoy it more from the comfort of my own house than flying to Vegas day of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
trying to filter through all of that traffic and not just cars, people
Oh
and
yeah,
everything's going to be, overloaded. We know how many thousands and thousands of people flood the city.
you need to plan a little bit just because I just feel
Yeah,
like it's so overwhelming too. Like, and you want to hit everything. I
right.
don't think I think if you're going to do Mania, you got to do it right. Hit up WWE World as they call it now, Greg. Which,
Yep.
oh my God, that shop looks ridiculous. There was stuff everywhere. I mean, look at the Royal Rumble store. So I can only imagine what they did with WWE World. So, except for that Triple H statue, I think I would be. Did you see that, Greg? I would be freaked out by that statue.
No, I
He had
didn't see it.
Yeah, I'll share the picture in our group chat real quick, and yeah, you might have some nightmares after seeing that thing because there's something about wax figures, Greg, that they either hit it right or they completely butcher it and make it look like the creepiest looking thing ever. There's no in between. But Triple H should get to see his own one, and he was kind of like, oh yeah, this this is something. So yeah, if you're saying that about your own wax figure, it makes you wonder. So, I did not get to watch Hall of Fame. I might need to try to catch up on it tomorrow at some point, or like you said, Greg, catch clips because it was on way late last night for me. I did wake up in the middle of the night and was like, oh, maybe I could turn it on, and then I kind of fell back to sleep. So I did not. It was a late night for them, and like they said, the NXT call was like 5 a.m. today because it's going to be 10 a.m. ish for them starting today. So, but hey, it's cool for you, Greg. Get your morning started right, and then take a little rest, watch some NBA, and then get right back into WrestleMania. So, we'll figure out some times next week because, like I said, I want to hit the Square Circle Expo. I might be able to hit it later on Saturday. Friday will be my busy day with it, so I might be able to do this same time. I think we're going to go same time tomorrow, same bat time tomorrow for night 2. Maybe
Same bat time. I'm down.
Maybe we can do some quick recap of night 1. Even though I have a feeling with the way it always used to unfold, Greg, we won't do a quick one, but we can do some fast, rapid reaction and get you started for night 2 with, like I said, I think Cena and Cody. Cody's been getting the upper hand, Greg. I'm starting to wonder. My mind
I was wondering, yeah.
I mean, yeah. So I definitely think we're in for something so let's get off now. Kind of get us ready for NXT Stand and Deliver. Thank you for watching. Thank you for Sean for joining. We will bring him back on, get you involved in most you want. And yeah, talk to you guys same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, whatever time that falls into you. So thank you, Greg, for being here, and we will talk to you guys tomorrow.
Peace.